Good morning, dear students. Our next session is dealing with the different nitrogen and oxygen compounds, or we can say it as oxides of nitrogen. Okay. So so far we have studied some of the compounds: nitrogen trioxide, then nitric oxide, etc. So let us move on to this nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen and dinitrogen tetroxide. So first of all, we have to go through the preparation of this nitrogen dioxide, and also see the structure of nitrogen dioxide. It is like this: N double bond O, then coordinate bond O. Okay, so normally this nitrogen dioxide won't exist like this as NO2. It will be existing as a dimer, that is as N2O4. That means it will be two molecules of this NO2 will be there, so that it will be forming N2O4, dinitrogen tetroxide. So the structure of nitrogen dioxide is like this: N double bond O, coordinate bond O. Okay, so next is the preparation. So the first reaction, by mixing this nitric oxide NO with oxygen. The reaction between nitric oxide and oxygen. NO is nitric oxide. You have studied already, isn't it? So nitric oxide plus oxygen giving N2NO2. Okay, NO2. This is nitrogen dioxide. Then the second method of preparation, by heating powdered lead nitrate. I think this portion I told in classroom, isn't it? By heating dry lead nitrate, PbNO3 twice. PbNO3 twice is lead nitrate. Okay, by heating lead nitrate, that is PbNO3 twice, 2 molecules of PbNO3 twice. On heating, we will be having lead oxide PbO plus O2 plus 4NO2. Okay, PbO plus O2 plus 4NO2. So this is the major product that is required by us, 4NO2. So this is the laboratory method of preparation. Okay, laboratory method of preparation. That means in a small quantity. Laboratory method of preparation. So by heating powdered lead nitrate. And then the next reaction, the third reaction, by the action of concentrated nitric acid on copper. Copper plus concentrated nitric acid. 4 molecules of HNO3 giving copper nitrate. Copper nitrate, the formula is CuNO3 twice. CuNO3 twice plus 2NO2 plus 2H2O. Okay, copper nitrate plus nitrogen dioxide plus NO2. Okay, sorry, plus H2O, 2 molecules of water. Then the next is coming to the properties of this particular compound, NO2. Properties. See, already I told you that this NO2, it is an odd electron molecule. That means see this NO2, that is the structure, it is like this: N double bond O, coordinate bond O. And also this nitrogen, it will be having one odd electron. Odd electron means it will be having one single electron. Okay, so if there is a single electron or if there is an unpaired electron, what about that particular molecule? If the molecule it is having an unpaired electron or an odd electron, we can say that that particular molecule will be paramagnetic. Okay, so NO2 molecule will be paramagnetic. Okay, so normally this NO2 molecule, it will be existing as a dimer. And what about the dimer? Dimer means 2 times NO2. That means N2O4. That is what is called as a dimer. Okay, so it will be existing as dinitrogen tetroxide. N2O4 means it is dinitrogen tetroxide. Dinitrogen tetroxide. Okay. And also, see, what about this dinitrogen tetroxide? Each NO2 molecule has got an odd electron. So when one NO2 with an odd electron, when it is combining with another NO2 having an odd electron, what happens? This becomes paired, isn't it? These 2 electrons becomes paired, or there will be a bonding, or there will be a partial bonding is there. So that what happens? There is no odd electron. So what about this N2O4? N2O4, it will not be having any unpaired electrons. Okay. it will not be having any unpaired electrons, and so we can say that that particular N2O4 it is diamagnetic, while NO2 is paramagnetic. Diamagnetic means the substance it will not be having any unpaired electron. So N2O4 is diamagnetic while NO2 is paramagnetic. Okay, N2O4 is diamagnetic while NO2 is paramagnetic. And also coming to the color, usually colored substances, usually this unpaired, those compounds which is having an unpaired electron, those compounds will be colored usually. Okay, so here NO2 due to the presence of an odd electron, this NO2 molecule it will be brown color, while N2O4 it is not having any unpaired electrons, therefore this N2O4 is colorless. Okay, N2O4 is colorless while NO2 molecule is colored, that is it will be having a brown color. Okay, then the existence, the equilibrium of these two molecules, that is NO2 and N2O4, it will be like this. NO2 molecule while cooling, NO2 molecule on cooling, we will be having N2O4 molecule. Okay, and again N2O4 molecule on heating up to 140 degrees Celsius, that is the reverse reaction. N2O4 on heating up to 140 degrees Celsius, we will be having NO2 molecule. So normally NO2 molecule is brown in color and is paramagnetic, while N2O4 is colorless and diamagnetic. Okay, so this is the equilibrium, temperature dependence of this particular compound. Okay, NO2 molecule on cooling gives N2O4, while N2O4 on heating to 140 degrees Celsius gives NO2 molecule. Then again one more equilibrium is there. One more equilibrium. See, N2O4 molecule, it is a solid, while at a temperature of minus 11.2 degrees Celsius. Okay, at minus 11.2 degrees Celsius, this N2O4 it will be melting, and this N2O4 will be converting to liquid. Okay, at 11.2 degrees Celsius, this N2O4 in the solid state will be converting to liquid form. Okay, then if it is heating to 11.2 degree, what happens? Again the reverse of this, it will be converting to a solid. Okay, so at minus 11.2 this solid is converted to liquid. Then again at 21.5 degrees Celsius, so what happens is that at 21.5 degrees Celsius, again what happens, the temperature is increasing little bit, isn't it? So this liquid form, again liquid form of dinitrogen tetroxide, it is converted to gaseous form. Okay, this N2O4 will be converted to vapor state, while the temperature is increased to 21.5 degrees Celsius, it is converted to vapor state, and this vapor it is having color, it is of reddish brown. It is of reddish brown. Okay, it's of reddish brown color. Then again this N2O4 when again heated to 140 degrees Celsius, again heated to 140 degrees Celsius, what happens is that it will be converted to its corresponding oxide, that is NO2. Okay, it is converted to NO2, two molecules of NO2. Okay, then again on heating to 620 degrees Celsius, on heating to 620 degrees Celsius, it will be converting to nitric oxide and oxygen. Okay, so this nitric oxide and oxygen, this NO2, it will be dissociating to nitric oxide and oxygen, and also both these gases are colorless. Both are gases and both of them are colorless. Okay, colorless gases. And again on cooling, what happens, it will be converted back to NO2. So this is the conversion, or this is the temperature dependence of this particular compound. So dinitrogen tetroxide at a temperature of minus 11.2 degrees Celsius, it will be converting to N2O4 liquid. Then again while the temperature is increasing to 21.5, it is converted to vapor state, which is reddish brown color. Then while heated to 140 degrees Celsius, it is converted to NO2 molecule. Then again heating to 620, it will be giving 2NO plus oxygen. Okay, so this is the temperature dependence of this NO2 molecule. Then the next reaction with water. Reaction with water. See here, this nitrogen dioxide on treating with water or on reaction with water, it will be giving nitric acid and nitrous acid. Nitric acid, it is HNO3, nitrous acid, it is HNO2. Okay, this is nitric acid, and this HNO2, this is nitrous acid. Okay, 2NO2 on reaction with water giving nitric acid and nitrous acid. So we can say that this nitric acid and the mixture of this nitric acid and nitrous acid, it is an anhydride of this nitrogen dioxide, it is an anhydride of nitric acid and nitrous acid. Okay, NO2, it is a mixed anhydride. NO2, it is called as the mixed anhydride. Anhydride means if a compound, one molecule of water is eliminated from a particular compound, we can say that it is an anhydride. So NO2 plus H2O giving, we will be having this nitric acid and nitrous acid. So it is a mixed anhydride of nitric acid and nitrous acid, HNO3 and HNO2. Okay, mixed anhydride of HNO3 and HNO2. Then again this HNO2 on, again it will be undergoing disproportionation. That means in hot aqueous solution, this HNO2 will be undergoing disproportionation to give HNO3, then water and nitric oxide. HNO2 will be undergoing disproportionation. It will be in hot aqueous solution, it will be converting to HNO3, that is nitric acid, water and nitric oxide. This is nitric oxide. Okay. So that is about the reaction with water. Then the next reaction. So these are all some of the reactions of this NO2. Then another reaction with SO2. Reaction with sulfur dioxide, SO2. Reaction with sulfur dioxide. So SO2 sulfur dioxide plus NO2 plus H2O. Sulfur dioxide plus NO2 plus H2O. The product will be sulfuric acid, H2SO4 plus NO. I hope you know this reaction. This is the lead chamber process used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid, isn't it? Lead chamber process which is used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. So here sulfur dioxide, it is converted to sulfuric acid. See, SO2, it is converted to sulfuric acid, and here this NO2 will be acting as the oxidizing agent, or NO2 oxidizes SO2 to H2SO4. So NO2, it is acting as the oxidizing agent here. NO2 is acting as the oxidizing agent. Okay, so sulfur dioxide is converted to sulfuric acid. The reaction, it is the lead chamber process which is the manufacture of sulfuric acid. So this reaction will be carried out in the presence of steam. Here water means it is steam. Okay. Then the next reaction with potassium iodide. Reaction with potassium iodide, Ki. Reaction with Ki. See here, NO2 on reaction with potassium iodide plus water giving I2 plus NO plus 2 molecules of KOH. So NO2 plus potassium iodide plus water. So here potassium iodide, it is converted to iodine, or from the Ki solution what happens, iodine is liberated. Iodine is gas, isn't it? So with the help of the reaction with NO2, this potassium iodide reacts with NO2 to give iodine, or iodine will be liberated and nitric oxide will be one of the products. Okay, so that is the reactions of this NO2 molecule. Then the next one, we can go through the structure of this NO2 molecule as well as N2O4. Structure of NO2. as well as N2O4. Structure as I already written, N double bond O, then coordinate bond O, that is the structure of NO2 molecule. See here, the bond angle is 132 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 132 degree. Bond angle is 132 degree. This is the bond angle. This is 132 degree bond angle. So this is the structure of NO2 molecule. Then coming to the structure of dimer, that is dinitrogen tetroxide. The structure will be like this: N, single bond N, then coordinate bond O, then double bond O, again coordinate bond O, then double bond O. Okay, so this is the structure of N2O4 molecule. Again, this bond angle will be 132 degree. Okay, this particular bond angle is 132 degree, same as the case of this NO2 molecule. See here, all the terminal bonds, that is NO bonds, will be the same. That is, this NO as well as this NO will be the same. There is no change in the bond distances, because this NO2 molecule, it will be existing as a dimer. Okay, so this molecule, it will be a resonance hybrid of the structure. It will be a resonance hybrid. That means the bond length will be in between that of a single bond as well as a double bond. Okay, so this N2O4 molecule will be having some resonating structures. Then this uses of this N2O4 is that this liquid N2O4, it is used as a non-aqueous solvent. It is used as a non-aqueous solvent. Okay, so this is the structure as well as the uses of N2O4 molecule. Okay, next we can go through the next compound, the fifth compound, dinitrogen pentoxide. Dinitrogen pentoxide. Dinitrogen pentoxide, that is N2O5. First is the method of preparation of dinitrogen pentoxide. Dinitrogen, 2 nitrogen, then 5 oxygen. So it is pentoxide. So first method of preparation, that is the dehydration of nitric acid. Method of preparation using by the dehydration of nitric acid, and here the dehydrating agent used is P2O5. P2O5, it is a dehydrating agent. Phosphorus pentoxide. P2O5 is used as a dehydrating agent. Okay, and also this both these compounds, that is HNO3 and P2O5, it is distilled in a glass apparatus. It is distilled in a glass apparatus. Both of them, that is HNO3 plus P2O5 in a glass apparatus. Then it is distilled. It is distilled, and also this distillation will be taking place in the presence of ozonized oxygen, or we can say it as O3. Okay, O3 molecule in the presence of ozonized oxygen. So here this ozonized oxygen will be helping in the decomposition of N2O5. That is, while N2O5 is formed, this ozonized oxygen will be preventing the decomposition of N2O5. Okay, so let us write the equation. 2HNO3. See here, HNO3 used is concentrated HNO3, concentrated nitric acid, plus phosphorus pentoxide P2O5, giving N2O5, dinitrogen pentoxide, plus 2HPO3. What is HPO3? HPO3 is metaphosphoric acid. HPO3 is metaphosphoric acid. Okay, and also the structure of HPO3, it will be like this: P double bond O, then single bond OH. This is metaphosphoric acid. Okay, just for your information. So this is the first method of preparation, dehydration of nitric acid. So nitric acid, it is mixed with phosphorus pentoxide in a glass apparatus, and it is distilled in the presence of ozonized oxygen. So, and also this ozonized oxygen will help in the prevention of the decomposition of N2O5. Okay, then the next method of preparation. So this is the first method of preparation. Then the second method of preparation, by reaction of ozonized oxygen, into cold liquid N2O4. Ozonized oxygen plus liquid N2O4. That is O3 plus N2O4 liquid form, N2O4 in the liquid form giving N2O5 plus oxygen. Okay, so the equation is balanced, right? One of the oxygen will be combining with N2O4 giving N2O5 plus oxygen. Okay, so this is the next method of preparation, a simple reaction, oxygen plus ozonized oxygen plus liquid N2O4 giving dinitrogen pentoxide. Okay, next is coming to the properties. Properties. This liquid dinitrogen pentoxide, it is a colorless deliquescent solid. What do you mean by deliquescent? Q-U-E-S-C-E-N-T. Colorless deliquescent solid. Deliquescent means it absorbs moisture from the atmosphere very easily. Okay, and also it is highly reactive. Highly reactive. Colorless deliquescent solid. Deliquescent means it absorbs moisture from the atmosphere, and also so that it becomes a saturated solution, or it will be converted to a liquid form very easily. Then the next point, it is highly reactive. Then it is a strong oxidizing agent. Strong oxidizing agent. Then it is light sensitive. That means it will be decomposing in the presence of light. Okay, it is light sensitive. So if it is a light sensitive compound, it will be kept in dark bottles. Okay, dark amber colored bottles or dark bottles. Okay, so it is light sensitive. Then next point, it is the anhydride of nitric acid. It is an anhydride of nitric acid. That is 2 molecules of HNO3. 2 molecules of HNO3. From this, 1 molecule of water is eliminated. What will be the product? H2. Then from this, 1 oxygen will also be eliminated. So the product will be N2. Then O6. 1 oxygen is removed, so it becomes O5. Okay, so we can say that it is an anhydride of nitric acid. Okay, anhydride of nitric acid. And also when this N2O5, when it is treated with water, it will be converting to nitric acid, the reverse reaction. Okay, so when N2O5 treated with water, N2O5 when treated with water, it will be converting to 2 molecules of HNO3, the reverse reaction. And also this reaction is somewhat it makes some noise, some hissing noise. Okay, it makes some noise while during this reaction. Then the next reaction with, so this is the first reaction. Then the second reaction with alkalis. Reaction with alkali, that means reaction with sodium hydroxide. So normally with alkalis it will be giving nitrates. This N2O5, it is converted to nitrates. So let us write down the reaction. N2O5 plus 2 molecules of NaOH giving 2NaNO3 plus H2O. Okay, N2O5 plus 2NaOH giving 2NaNO3 plus H2O. What is NaNO3? It is sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate. ATE. Okay, sodium nitrate. Then again N2O5, as already said, it is a powerful oxidizing agent, isn't it? It's a powerful oxidizing agent, and also hence it will be it is kept in glass apparatus. It is kept in glass apparatus since it attacks a rubber, cork, etc. So it is kept in glass apparatus. Okay. Then the next one, the third reaction with hydrogen peroxide. Reaction of this N2O5 with hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. So N2O5 plus H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, giving HNO4. HNO4 plus HNO3, a mixture of 2 acids. HNO3 is nitric acid, as you know, while HNO4 is peroxynitric acid. HNO4 is peroxynitric acid. Peroxynitric acid. Okay, peroxynitric acid plus nitric acid. peroxynitric acid plus nitric acid. Peroxynitric acid is HNO4. Then the next one, coming to the structure of this N2O5. Structure of N2O5. So the structure, the first part it will be like this, NO2 molecule. Then again this nitrogen, it will be joining with an oxygen atom. Then again a nitrogen atom. Then for this nitrogen atom, there will be a coordinate bond O, then a double bond O. Okay, so total N2O5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the structure, say a simple structure, and also this structure, it is in the gaseous state. Okay, N single bond O, N, then NO2 molecule. Okay, here the NO bond length, the terminal bond, NO bond distances are the same, and also so this is the N2O5 in the gaseous state. And also coming to the liquid stage. Normally in the liquid state, this N2O5, it will be in the ionic form. N2O5 in liquid state, it will be in the ionic form. Ionic form means it will be having plus and minus charges. Okay, so let us go through the ionic stages of this this molecule. That is N double bond O, double bond O. For this oxygen, how many lone pairs? 2 lone pairs of electron. Again for this oxygen, 2 lone pairs of electron. So total 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Then again for nitrogen, a plus charge. Okay. So this is one structure. Then the another structure, it will be like this. So what is this? NO2 plus molecule, isn't it? NO2 plus means, what about the name of the species? NO2 plus. NO2 plus is nitronium. NO2 plus is nitronium ion. Nitronium ion, NO2 plus. Okay. Then the next structure, that is the negatively charged structure, and it will be like this: N double bond O, then a coordinate bond O, then double bond O, then for this oxygen, 1 negative charge. Okay. 2, 4, 6. Okay. Then for this oxygen, 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So what about this structure? NO3 minus, isn't it? NO3 minus. So what about NO3 minus? It is NO3 minus ion is nitrate ion. Okay. It is nitrate ion. So in the liquid state, we can say this N2O5 molecule as nitronium nitrate species. Okay. So it is togetherly called as nitronium nitrate in liquid state. Nitronium nitrate in liquid state. Okay, N2O5 in the liquid state, it is nitronium nitrate. That means it is in the ionized form, or it will be having plus or minus charges. Okay. Next we can go through the next compound, that is phosphorus. Oxides of phosphorus. Oxides of phosphorus. See, normally this phosphorus has got oxides. Phosphorus trioxide. Phosphorus trioxide. You have to study these compounds. Phosphorus trioxide. Then phosphorus tetroxide. Phosphorus tetroxide and phosphorus pentoxide. What are the compounds? Phosphorus trioxide, phosphorus tetroxide and phosphorus pentoxide. So first of all, we have to go through one by one. First of all, we have to go through this phosphorus trioxide. And this phosphorus trioxide, usually it will be existing as a dimer. Phosphorus trioxide, it is existing as a dimer. Dimer means, again, it will be having the structure, it will be like this: P4O6. P4O6. Normally phosphorus will be existing as P4 molecule. Okay, so it is P4O6. So it is existing as a dimer. That is the first point to be noted down. Then you have to go through some of the methods of preparation and also some of the reactions of this particular compound along with the physical properties. Okay, so we can go through one by one. First is the method of preparation of this phosphorus trioxide. So it is prepared by the reaction of phosphorus with oxygen. Reaction of phosphorus with oxygen, and also here oxygen, oxygen means within the limited supply of air. Okay, in limited supply of air. Limited supply of air gives P4O6, 3 into 2, 6. Okay, P4O6. Then coming to the physical properties. Physical properties. It is a soft white solid. Soft white solid. Then the melting point, it is 24 degrees Celsius, very low melting point. Melting point 24 degree. Boiling point 175 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these are some of the physical properties. The method of preparation means phosphorus is burned in a limited supply of air to give this phosphorus trioxide. Okay, next is the reactions of this phosphorus trioxide. Reactions. First is the reaction with oxygen. With oxygen or in air, what happens? That is P4O6 on heating in presence of air. It will be converting to P4O10. Okay, simple reaction, P4O6 plus 2O2 giving P4O10. Then the next one, this P4O6 again, it is considered as an anhydride of phosphorus acid. That means the reaction with water. The next reaction, number 2, reaction with water. P4O6 plus 6H2O giving 4H3PO3. 4H3PO3. What is H3PO3? It is phosphorus acid. H3PO3 is phosphorus acid. There is no O here, only U. Okay, phosphorus acid. So this reaction with water means it will be reacting with water to give phosphorus acid. So therefore we can say that this P4O6, it is the anhydride of phosphorus acid. Okay, P4O6, it is the anhydride of phosphorus acid. Okay. Then the next is coming to the structure of this structure of phosphorus trioxide. Structure of phosphorus trioxide. See here, you have to draw the structure of this phosphorus trioxide, and also see there are 4 phosphorus atoms, isn't it? P4O6. So this 4 phosphorus atoms, they are sp3 hybridized. The 4 phosphorus atoms, they are sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized means what about the geometry? sp3 hybridization means the geometry will be a regular tetrahedron. Okay, so the phosphorus atoms will be directed towards the regular corners of a tetrahedron. Okay, the phosphorus will be having the geometry of a regular tetrahedron. Let us draw the structure. Phosphorus, then again phosphorus, P. Okay, so the 4 phosphorus atoms, these 4 phosphorus atoms are sp3 hybridized and they are directed towards the corners of a regular tetrahedron. So again, okay, it is almost a regular tetrahedral geometry, right? Then again, this phosphorus atoms, each phosphorus atoms, it will be bonded to oxygen atoms. Okay, each phosphorus atoms will be bonded to 3 oxygen atoms, and also the oxygen atoms, 1 oxygen atom will be bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms. That means oxygens will be coming alternate to this phosphorus atoms. Okay, so let us draw this oxygen atom. Oxygen, then again oxygen atom. then again phosphorus, then again oxygen atom, then again phosphorus, then again oxygen atom, like this. Okay. So alternate oxygen and phosphorus will be coming, and also each oxygen will be bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms, isn't it? Each oxygen will be bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms. Then again in the midway also there are 2 oxygen atoms. That is, one will be like this. Then one more is there, and another one, it will be like this, oxygen, oxygen. Okay. So this is the structure of this P4O6 molecule. See how many phosphorus? 1, 2, 3, 4 phosphorus. Then how many oxygens? 1, 2, then 3, 4, then 5 and 6. Okay. So this is the geometry of this molecule. So first of all, you have to draw the regular tetrahedral geometry of P4 molecule. Then alternate oxygen atoms. So each phosphorus will be bonded to 3 oxygen atoms. See, for this phosphorus 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Then again for this phosphorus 1, 2, 3 oxygen atom. Also for this one oxygen atom, it will be bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms. Here also for this oxygen 2 phosphorus, for this oxygen 2 phosphorus, for this one 2p, for this oxygen 2p. Okay, so this is the structure of P4O6 molecule. Okay, then the next one, hope you are clear with this, the structure of this phosphorus at P4O6 molecule. The 2 points to be noted down is that it is the 4 phosphorus atoms, it is sp3 hybridized, therefore it is having the geometry of a regular tetrahedron, and each oxygen atom, it is bonded to how many phosphorus molecule? Phosphorus atom? 2 phosphorus atoms, isn't it? Each oxygen atom, it is bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms. Again, each phosphorus atoms will be bonded to 3 oxygen atoms. Okay. Don't get confused between these two. Okay. And also all the phosphorus and oxygen atoms will have 8 electrons in their valence shell. 8 electrons in their valence shell. Okay. So these are the points to be noted down. Okay, each oxygen atom bonded to 2 phosphorus atoms, each phosphorus atom bonded to 3 oxygen atoms. Then again, each phosphorus and oxygen atom will be having 8 electrons in the valence shell. That means it had completed its octet configuration. So this P4O6 molecule is a completely stable molecule. Okay. Then the next compound. Hope you are clear with this structure. Otherwise, you can pause the video and you can draw it. Okay. Then the next compound, that is phosphorus tetroxide. Phosphorus tetroxide. Phosphorus tetroxide molecule. This phosphorus tetroxide also, it will be existing as a dimer. That means P4, it is fixed for any phosphorus molecule. P4, then dimer means it will be O8. Okay, P4O8. Then again, we can go through the structure of this molecule. So here, while comparing with the previous one, that is P4O6, here 2 oxygen atoms will be in addition, isn't it? So first of all, you can draw the tetrahedral phosphorus. Okay. Then again, this phosphorus will be joined like this one like this. Then alternate oxygen atoms, isn't it? Oxygen, here oxygen, then phosphorus, then again oxygen, then again phosphorus, then again phosphorus, then again oxygen, like this. Okay. Here it should be almost a straight one. Okay. It should be like this. P, single bond, this is a single bond. Okay, P, the previous, just like the previous structure. Okay, then the next one, we have to draw the other oxygen atoms in between. That is, at this position 1 oxygen. Okay, then for this phosphorus also 2 oxygen atoms are there. It will be like this. So the structure is completed. for P4O6 molecule. So here we are discussing phosphorus tetroxide, that is 2 more oxygen atoms will be there, and the 2 additional oxygen atoms, it will be like this, coordinate bond O. Okay, coordinate bond O. So please count the number of P. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 phosphorus atoms, isn't it? Then oxygen 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, P4O8. So this is the structure. Again, you have to write down the points also. Here, the 4 phosphorus atoms. What about the geometry? Again, it is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized means it will be having a regular tetrahedral geometry. Regular tetrahedral geometry, or the phosphorus atoms will be directed towards the 4 corners of a regular tetrahedron. This is the regular tetrahedral geometry. Okay. Regular tetrahedral geometry. And also here the terminal oxygen atoms will be bonded to this phosphorus through 2 coordinate bonds. Okay, terminal oxygens will be having coordinate bond with phosphorus. Will be having coordinate bond with phosphorus. Okay. So this is about the geometry of P4O8 molecule. Then one small compound is also there, that is not small molecule. For the time being, you have to study only very small portions. Hope you are clear with this structure also. Please draw the structure so that you can practice it. Okay. Then the next compound, that is phosphorus pentoxide. Phosphorus pentoxide. Phosphorus pentoxide molecule. See here, phosphorus pentoxide also, it will be existing as a dimer, and also the formula is P4O10. P4O10 molecule. Okay, here you, in your textbook, the structure it is not given to study, and also it is having a complex structure so that you can't draw it. So this phosphorus pentoxide also exists as a dimer, that is P4O10. Then the next is method of preparation of this phosphorus pentoxide molecule. This phosphorus pentoxide, phosphorus will be burning in excess of air. Okay, excess air will be burning in excess of air to give P4O10. P4O10. Okay, so this is the method of preparation, and also the formed pentoxide, phosphorus pentoxide, it is purified by sublimation. It is purified by sublimation. And also the sublimation temperature, it is purified at a temperature of about 360 degrees Celsius. So it is we will be having purified P4O10. Purified P4O10. Okay. So this is the method of preparation of this P4O10 molecule. Then the next is some of the reactions. 1 or 2 reactions are there, or the chemical properties of this phosphorus pentoxide. First reaction with water. With water, this P4O10, it will be easily absorbing water. That means it will be reacting with water very fast. Okay, 6 molecules of H2O giving H3PO4. What is H3PO4? It is phosphoric acid, isn't it? H3PO4, phosphoric acid. H3PO3 is phosphorus acid, H3PO4 is phosphoric acid. Okay, so here this P4O10, it has got a strong affinity of water. That means it will be reacting with water very easily, and therefore, what about the use of P4O10? It will be absorbing water so quickly. So we can say that it can be used as a drying agent. P4O10 can be used as a drying agent. Okay, P4O10 can be used as a drying agent, since it will be absorbing water very quickly. So it will be reacting with water vigorously to form phosphoric acid, H3PO4. So these are some of the reactions of phosphorus pentoxide. So the compounds of, or the oxides of phosphorus are over. Next we have to study the oxy acids of halogens. that we can go through in our next session. Hope you are clear up to this. And also I think this video is somewhat lengthy. It is about 45 minutes. Please excuse me for having this lengthy video. You have to watch the video and also please write the lecture notes and please upload it in your classroom. Thank you and have a nice day.